Good evening. Welcome to the December 1st meeting of the Capital Improvement Committee. Tonight, guys, you see, we have an open position. Roland Waterhouse has resigned from his position on this board. Hopefully, we have a couple of people who might be interested, but it does come from the selectmen. But maybe since we have one here, we can put a bug in her ear that in the past, Elise has shown interest, as Ann McKecken. Okay, has shown interest, so, we'll get that done. And what we will have to do is sharing Roland's responsibilities. We're going to have to separate those. And I believe you were working with Roland Wayne at the transfer station and fire department? I know that's what you were supposed to be doing?
Correct.
Okay, supposed to be doing. So I'm going to just mark you down as fire department liaison and transfer station, okay? He's going to get me what he had. Roland will get me what he had from those things. And I have some of it, but not everything. So that will be good. Will was going to be here, but I see he's not, or he may come in late. He has some updates on things that he's looking forward to 2022. He wants to get some 2021 business finished this year that he already has money for, but since it's really capital improvement, he wants to give us a heads up on where he would like to go with that, so we can...
That way I can update.
Sorry?
That way I can update my...
Yes, yeah, it will update that. Now, on your update that you have, is there anything new that you should let us?
As far as new, I took the new information that I got from you for the fire department, and I reconfigured that one spreadsheet and added that in.
And added that in, great.
We're gonna be getting together at some point so I can kind of get a second opinion on, because I know you wanted me to try to see if there was a way to consolidate everything.
Right.
To one straightforward
spreadsheet,
and then, we can fill in information as requested.
Right, and as necessary. I've gone through all of the forms that we were first given. And when it gets down to things that might be itemized, it's called worksheet number 1, and this would have the existing capital inventory, equipment inventory. Most of that's going to be fire department. There will be a few things, I imagine, down at the sand shed, and a few things here that we could add to this list. But then this just gives us, the way this thing is a target date for replacing, rebuilding, or whatever the case happens to be. So when you get that done, we can look at individual ones and use this sheet. That way we're
incorporated that into a lot of my spreadsheets as well, so that way
perfect.
Current, future, all that stuff.
Great, that's great. That's exactly what we need. I feel like we're moving as fast as a turtle on a very cold beach. But information is coming in.
Yeah.
We still need information from the road commissioner on District 2. He wasn't sure he had anything, but I'm sure as the winter goes on, he's going to understand that he's going to have things come up that he's going to need done. Because that was something I wanted to ask you tonight. When it comes to the roads, I believe we need to put those in one basket. What roads in town need to be done,
Instead of segregating by district.
instead of segregating by district, because the money is coming from one pot. How the select board decides to allocate, we don't have to, that's not us. We don't need to do that. We just need to be able to say, we are going to need, in 3 years, we're going to need $1.3 million on redoing roads. I mean, redoing roads, not patching, not this, not that, but actually redoing roads. We're going to need $1 million to get the work done on the road bridge, maybe in 2 years. So we want to be able to, that's our roads. And those bridges are part of the road. So, I don't want a District 1, I don't want a District 2. This is where taxpayer money is going for this kind of thing, if you think that makes sense.
Yes.
One question I have is, with this infrastructure funds coming into Augusta,
Yeah.
has anybody approached, and I thought about going and talking to the senator from this district, about the possibility of getting some funds to help with the reconstruction of Row, and kind of put a little bit of pressure on them to find out if they're gonna be able to do the Milton Mills Bridge a little bit faster now that they have this money. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like the squeaky wheel.
Well, it's the squeaky, I agree with that. I'm going to preface what I say with this. As a committee, we do not have the authority to go out and,
That's our role.
No, I
Not
know.
unless we hear otherwise. I would agree. I don't think it's our role to do that.
it's not. However, I have no problem with us giving a report here saying, hey, there's infrastructure money coming in. We need help we want to put our oar in the water. We want Acton to get some of that money. But it's their job, not ours. So that's how that will have to be.
There being who? Whose job
The
is it?
selectman's
Okay.
job. That is the select person's job.
And we need to eventually, sooner rather than later, I feel, I want to get down to Milton, with some kind of concrete, we would like to do, A, B, or C, and when are you ready? New Hampshire, because they're going to have to go in with us on that bridge, on the road,
Yeah.
and
So what are you gonna do if they don't wanna?
don't know, that's the next, so I would like to
Well,
know.
no, in Milton, they-
I know, and that's
you
probably going to be, but until we, we need to get,
It's not like you're spending $100,
No,
Right,
but
right.
there has been
I know,
discussions between the two towns in the past.
right,
And if my memory serves me, some of the issues had to do with, well, where is the boundary line?
right. And so-
Is it in the middle of the bridge? Is it at the end of the bridge? The end being when you go into Milton? Or is it when you leave Acton, when you start the bridge there?
So, those are things we all need to find
I would
out.
think that both states are likely to get, New Hampshire and Maine are likely
Sure.
to get infrastructure money.
Yeah.
So if we could get elected state officials to maybe get together.
I think that's-
And identify,
Yeah.
which bridges we have. Are there two?
No, one is done,
Oh, okay.
but
Which one is done?
Canal.
Canal.
No, I'm thinking of the Hopper Road.
The Hopper
That's
Road.
like- that's-
And- and
road.
Milton- And the one,
Milton Mills Road needs to be done by the state.
That's a state.
oh,
State
state,
road.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a
All right,
state
fine.
road.
Just to
Wow,
kind
but
of
they-
push it
Okay.
along.
Yeah, the Hopper is actually called the Road Bridge.
Okay,
Throws you, I know.
so get them together.
Yeah.
It may be an economical way for both states, because we're contributing, on some basis to it.
Right.
For them to actually get it done.
And this would be an excellent time for that, because in the past, New Hampshire simply has always said, we don't have the money.
Yeah.
The state has said,
Yeah.
we don't have the money.
Yeah.
So now with infrastructure money coming in, it might be a time to strike while the iron is hot.
That's right.
So that I would be in favor of doing. Not that we don't, we would love to know how much that is, because it goes in our report,
But first, we need to find out.
but we need to get the information. So, since Will's not here tonight, we'll go on to new business, which is the rec committee. And we have asked, and Carol Ward is here.
Yes.
And we have asked Carol it's going to be more of an open discussion, what they want, what they need. And Carol, to make it a little more easy, why don't you come up here, you can pull up that chair and be part of us. It's hard to have a conversation when we have one person 30 feet away.
Okay. Lori was sorry she couldn't make it. She's the chairperson, so
Yes.
I'm coming in her place.
And this is Carol Ward, and you are the left hand with the right. She being the right hand, and
Yes,
you are the left
yes,
hand.
I help her.
Yes. Great. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
So I'm going to turn it to you.
Okay, so
needs and
Lori
wants.
and I discussed this today and the other day about coming here and what we were really looking for. And Lori has been on the rec board for a number of years, where I'm new, I've just been on it for a year. So she went over things that they had been discussing for years of what they wanted and what direction they wanted the rec board to go to, the rec committee. The first thing that we would like to prioritize is that we really feel that for the rec to be even more successful is if there was a director. Because the amount of work that goes in to get these kids' activities is a ton of work. I mean, if we need the parking lot done, that's up to Lori and I. If we need trees cut, that's up to Lori and I. If we need the the lining of the fields is up to Lori and I. It's unbelievable. And Lori has two children one that's doing the sports. I have none. I have no grandchildren that are here and there. And the amount of time that it takes is just really too much for 3 people to do and what's expected. We had about 60 kids in baseball. We had about 70 in soccer. And this is coming off of, a year of not having any. And we've had 2 sessions of swim so far with 22, 24 kids in each of those 2 sessions. We're limited on the money, so we can only do 1 more session of swim, it looks like, for this year.
I want to stop you, and if you don't mind, if others have questions?
Sure.
Okay. When you say you need a director, are you talking about adding a paid position
That's
to the
what-
town budget?
That's what we would like to see. Right now, like I said, there's only 3 of us. The parents don't seem to really help much, and it really is just too much, so we would really like a paid position. I believe, maybe Kim, you know more, that there was a paid position at one time.
It was, I believe it was like a stipend, but, I mean, I agree with you. I think the rec is really important, and I know you need help. 2 or 3, you cannot do all this. I helped for years when mine were all in school. So,
Right. Yeah.
Just doing one sport was a lot, and you get a lot on your plate, so.
Yeah, so that would be the main thing.
Okay.
At this point. There's a couple other things.
Yeah.
Have you figured out how many hours that might be?
And that's,
We haven't really talked about budgets or anything yet. We're just kind of throwing it back and forth. I did ask Lori. Lori is really the one who's doing the baseball and the soccer. We all line the fields and different things, and we all do the end of the season party, but she's the one who's really taken. I said, did you keep track of any of your hours because of the amount of hours you're putting in? It's up to her to get the coaches, it's up to her to make the teams, it's up to us to give them the uniforms and get the uniforms back, which has been kind of a nightmare. It's a lot of hours.
yeah.
And she does much more than I do, So no, we'll work on that. but we haven't gotten that far yet with that.
Okay.
They have been working on a parking lot. I guess in the past, the sports have played other teams, Wakefield, and the parking lot is not a sufficient size to accommodate other towns to come and play the sports. So in the works, we have somebody that supposedly is coming this year to cut down the trees, the scrub trees, but so it's up to us to get the bids as well. So we've only had one bid so far. And then he wants to put a road in to go get that, so it's turning into much more money there as well. So we're hoping we can get that done and get the new parking lot in at some point too, so we can accommodate more.
Where is this money coming from now?
Our budgets. So it's things that they put into the budget, and I think that we did allocate, there is money in there to do the trees in there.
Yeah, yep.
I don't really remember how much was there, but it was.
I don't remember either, but I do know
I have
that
it in
that
here
was
somewhere,
something.
but there is, I think it's $5,000 or something to start that procedure.
I'm asking, what was the bid? How much-
That was the chairperson. Lori was the one who was dealing with the bid. I know it was more than what we had.
I figured, yeah, okay.
Because he was then talking about having to make a road, so you had to bring in the gravel and get the road in and everything else. So I do believe that Will's coming up to talk about something with Lori as well.
Yeah, I
So
believe
that
that's
could-
true.
That could be done. We do have a well there, but the water doesn't go anywhere. So we do have a concession stand, but the water has not been hooked up to go into the concession stand either. So the concession stand was open for baseball, it was not open for soccer. We didn't have help to do that, so it did not open. But the concession stand is a dry concession stand.
Well, I hope so, they're children.
Right, but there's no water, it's not connected.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I don't know when the well was drilled, I don't know any of that, but it's there.
I feel like that's been put in over the last year or so.
I was gonna say, in the last 4 years.
4
I
years,
do
'cause
know
I've
that
been here for a
The
year.
well, we had a trench dug, then there was some electrical. and
Yeah.
projects, but
The
something else
electrical
happened.
thing,
The last couple of years.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that,
I
all
think
of
we've
that.
all missed a couple of years here too. so-
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, COVID is like a blop in
Yeah.
our,
Right.
everything.
So when I'm talking about things that they had on this was pre-COVID.
Yeah, that's
on their list.
fine.
So that talked about, and then eventually they talked about getting a building there with bathrooms and getting a septic system further down the road. Lori has told me that if the kids go to Sanford to play, which they can do, it costs them a lot of money as a family to go there, like over $100 if they want to play baseball or soccer or what have you. And here we charge $20 for the sports.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I think the fields need some work. The baseball field certainly needs to be, it's all weeded. We did the best we could, but, they need to be kept up as well. And the last one was, then we also had Camp Nutter. If that hasn't sold. This town has so many lakes and there's really no place for the town kids to enjoy them unless they know somebody who has a house on the lake or a relative, which is kind of crazy. And then one of the women, the other woman that was on the committee also talked about, I believe Jennifer or the selectman talked about that brick building, maybe the rec taking it over. I know it's full of mold and it would really have to be.
The concrete building.
Yes, the concrete building.
Yeah,
Is a mess, but that was further
Coming
down the
down.
road as well.
yeah.
I know that I can't remember who it was that was running the rec, it was when I first came here. I mean, there was a lot of talk of trying to get a building, a community center rec building where the field is, whether that's, I don't know what happened to that.
And I believe that was that was on the list as well, as
didn't
far as
know.
putting it behind the fields.
Yeah.
And there by the retention pond, but you're talking.
There was even talk of using the ambulance building, and that turns out to be
Yeah.
a traffic issue problem, parking for the emergency vehicles coming in and out and cars going in and out. I'm absolutely sure that could somehow be worked out by somebody a lot smarter than me who can look at those projects and do it.
Right.
But it's a cost factor. What would it cost to put up a community building or repurpose that building? And but that's what capital improvement is all about. Is that something we could look at in 10 years? So make sure you give us those thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, because it would be, we don't really do anything for the older population here, and having a building, our supplies are all in that concrete building, and you could do aerobics there, you could do yoga, if it was a fixed-up building, and right now, we don't do anything for our age people.
If we're,
Or you.
I'm almost there.
as we put together a longer-term capital plan.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be good to understand what these needs are, what they might cost, what our other needs are, and how we might fit this in at some point in time that might help to create sort of a leveling of the need over time, that hopefully the town could then find a way of sort of creating a resource to support this and other things that might be necessary at some point
Exactly,
in the future.
integrate the,
So, having a sense of what this need is, how much it might cost, and then incorporating with all the other needs, then I think we could look at that and figure out when we might think it's possible to do something like this, or at least propose it.
right.
Yes, because this is beyond us.
I understand.
Even the roads and that whole bit is just way beyond trying to figure that stuff out. And that's why we thought with the director, they could really take charge and
Yes, and do those, yeah.
and do those things in, a paid position. I think it's a lot for volunteers unless we got a 10-person committee or something, but with 3 people, you really can't
Now-
do it.
You haven't mentioned the ice skating. What,
So the ice skating
Where is
rink,
that?
we have it, we have the liner. There's a gentleman, and I don't know his name, he has a nice English accent, who said he was going to be setting it up this winter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
been setting it up the past couple of years, I believe.
yeah.
Yes, I know he didn't do it last year, but we
Right.
have the liner, we have everything.
good.
The weather didn't cooperate
Whether
last
he
year.
does or not, I don't even know who he
Yeah,
is.
I know
but
who he is.
He said he
I-
was going to take care of that.
Yeah,
When does that get
I,
set up?
well, it's been about 4 years now.
They
maybe
use the
5.
basketball court at the rec field, flood it and stuff.
Then we would have to get
A lot
toilets
of
up there
fun.
again and do that, so.
Yeah, I had actually donated our snow blower so he
To do
could
that.
take the snow off
Last year,
the
the weather
ice.
didn't cooperate.
Yeah,
for them
so,
to set it up, so we posted
Hopefully he'll do it because we do have the
Yep.
liner.
Okay, again, a director would be very helpful in that situation.
Correct, to do that.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, if you don't have enough parking for when you have out-of-town players coming, that's got to be a priority. In order to get the parking, you need to have trees cut down. That's part of
And they're
that.
scrub trees, they're not anything that could be logged, they're all,
Yeah, yeah.
saplings.
Right. I'm looking at the hookup for the water, though. Because I would think that kids playing sports, you're going to go through an awful lot of bottles of water if you don't have running water there. I would think
I
that,
believe there was a way we could access, I don't think that,
I thought there was a spigot or something right
there
off
is a
of the well.
spigot right there. Did they use
Is
it?
there?
I don't know if the kids used it or not, because I wasn't there for their games,
My
but,
girls were out of that program before they had that in there, so.
okay. But
Okay.
there is a spigot that you can get the water, because I know for the concession stand, they would use it, and the water has been tested, and it's fine. It's safe and clean water.
yeah,
Just
and
needed to
is,
catch
are
and
bathrooms an
put it in
issue?
the Concession stand.
We've had a porta potty, and this year it was vandalized a few times. So then we had to get a lock.
Yeah.
And they had to get cameras up there, which also came out of our budget, I believe. So all of that stuff comes out of the rec budget for the vandalism. So the porta potty is now gone. So if we get the skating rink, it'll have to come back. But it was vandalized, so the porta potty people kept calling Lori and complaining, and, they stole the toilet paper. They ripped the toilet paper thing off. They ripped the antiseptic, you know, the
Sanitizer.
sanitizer off of it and different things as well. So it was vandalized.
That's very discouraging. And there's a dream about Camp Nutter, is that what I gleaned from what you said?
There was a dream about Camp Nutter when it went up for sale, the thought of getting a town beach of some sort for here. I mean, you know, this town has how many lakes, and there's nothing, no public access for the people that live here unless you live on the lake. So, it would be nice, but
What
it's
was
kind of a
Camp
dream.
Nutter? What did it go on, what was the sale?
I don't, is it,
It's,
I don't think it's sold yet.
well, I heard it was, somebody was buying it, whether it's gone through or not, I don't know.
I think there was a lot of stipulations about that, though, was there, and there's a
It's
group that
not-
was involved. and-
Right, and I don't think it's the first person that thought they were
Oh, it
gonna buy
wasn't?
No, I think
Okay.
it's, you know, it's a little different than. yeah.
Okay,
And I don't know if it's gone through.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful. That would be just amazing. It would be great to have a little town beach and have one of the building, you know, you could have your whole, anyhow.
Any idea what that was going for?
Wasn't that much, I don't think, was it? Wasn't it only like $400,000 or something?
Yeah, it's just it was just, I think, for the beach and the buildings. The rest of it was all being sold separately.
So the beach and the building, interesting. Yeah. There actually is a town beach in Acton.
And where is it?
You have to go into Milton Mills and go down around by the old church,
You take French Street,
French Street.
French Street, and it's right on the right, or like she said, go
Yeah,
down Milton Mills Road, go right to the bottom before you get to the bridge.
right.
And take a left on French Street, get down there, and on the right, there's my children who are in their 30s now, their babysitter, used to bring them over, they used to keep it clean. They would
Yes.
rake it all, and so they
Yes,
could swim in it, it's all
it
grown
used to
in
be
again.
cleaned and
Tree stump
nice.
pub is what they call it.
So could it be a town beach?
I don't know anymore.
I swam in it as a kid. We all swam in it. You know, there's the dam right there. But it's a nice shallow area, and you could do, you know, swimming and stuff. It'd take some work to get back in there and get all the, you know, weeds and sticks and
Yeah,
probably glass. and
as you
things,
say,
you
the
know.
scrub trees and glass and,
Yeah, things,
probably
you know,
cut down
over the
some other-
years, it probably needs to be, you know, but,
Another good job for the director.
yeah.
Is this on the river?
It's on the river,
Yeah.
yes.
And so the town owns that land?
I don't know how it became the Acton Town Beach.
Right, and I don't
Because
know.
it is in Milton.
Oh, it is?
It's in Milton Mills. I mean, it's, one side's Milton Mills, the other side's Acton.
Is
The
right.
beach side is on the Acton side.
On the Acton side, right.
Do you know where the bridge is that goes up Fox's Ridge Road? If you look right to the left, that's where she's talking
I guess
about.
what I'm wondering is...
And I don't know.
If we own it, is it something that could be sold, and if the other Camp Nutter is available, could that be used to help acquire that?
We can ask. You know,
It's,
you know that
I don't
Mr.
know how big the land is, if
It's
it's
little,
buildable.
it's, you know, maybe as big as this room, the
I
grass
don't know,
area.
it's waterfront, so
Yep.
might be worth a lot right now.
possible.
So that's all I have. I think that's quite a bit.
Now, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
You say you charge $20 a child for registration.
Mm-hmm.
Other places are charging $100.
Well, that's Sanford. I don't know, I mean, Wakefield has a nice rec department. I don't know what they charge.
Okay.
And this is, you know, again, this is what Lori has, you know, has said. It's the, you know, 20, so I haven't looked around to see
Who
what
pays for the uniforms?
Rec does.
the rec does.
So the $20 is covering uniforms?
That
this
covers-
weekend.
Not, well, it goes back. The
It goes
$20
back
it
into
goes back
that sport and
to our budget. We
to
don't
the
usually,
budget, so that if they need,
it goes, kind of counteracts,
But the budget's paying for the uniforms?
yeah,
So,
basically.
You know, it's
Yeah.
contributing to the cost of the uniforms.
And the uniforms are,
Probably not, it's
Quite
probably
expensive.
gotta be more than that, I would
yeah.
$20.
oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the sport, the basketballs are 22 for just the jerseys. And then, you know,
And equipment?
Oh, yeah, we have to get all the basketballs, we have to get all the soccer balls, we have to get the bats, the balls, the line, we have to buy everything. So it's quite an expense. I have lots of invoices here, if you really
Okay.
wanted the prices, but yes, we have to pay for all of that.
Wakefield does have a really good rec program, and they also have like a senior program.
Yes, they do.
You know, and it would be nice if we could try to model something off of.
And
I
they
just-
work with us. We do talk to the
Yes,
assistant
good.
director there.
Do you?
So she's asked about basketball. Yes, we talked to her about soccer and different things.
Yeah,
But
good.
they have a director and an assistant director. I mean, it's a bigger town as well.
Right, but.
Yeah.
you know,
But
were
they
small.
have bus trips and they
Yep.
have all sorts of things down there. Yoga, you know, it would be nice.
Is there a resource in the administration that could help the rec committee sort of quantify some of these things and help them put together a request for a budget that could then be considered?
I would
Or is
think-
that up to the rec committee to do on their own?
I really don't know. I mean, I would
I think
think
that's
that
what
you
you
should
need.
have some guidance, because everybody's a volunteer that comes into these positions, so how do you know how to do that? I would
Yeah.
think that, I'm gonna say, and this could be wrong, but Michelle, I would think would be, she's the one that,
think so.
you know, takes care of that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I can find out.
I think.
That would be nice, because I know last year's budget, I mean, it was really pretty much, I had no idea that we had to buy everything. And so Lori, if we didn't have Lori, who had been on the committee, I wouldn't have known anything, you know.
Only a suggestion. Have a meeting with Wakefield and see, in keeping in mind, yes, they're 3 times our size, probably. Would you say, Kim? Wakefield's population?
Twice.
Twice?
Twice.
Okay, so
Like, yeah.
whatever it is, but keeping that in mind.
Maybe twice.
I
Yeah.
would see what they do and use it as a footprint for what you want to do. And, because I am willing to bet that they cover little things that you don't even think of, that probably come out of your pocket.
You may find if you can develop that budget.
Yeah.
You know, identify what it is you'd like to do, put a price tag on it. You may be able to find you can do a lot for a relatively small amount of money. It may be at a level that would perhaps hopefully be able to get approved through the budget process. So
Yeah.
a little bit of money can go a long way in a program like that.
Yeah,
I think we've done pretty well with the budget that we had this
I do
year.
too.
Different
Yeah.
things,
Yeah,
getting
good.
uniforms
Yeah.
and,
and then we can look at the other things down the road,
Yeah.
you know, a building,
right. I really do
That sort of
believe that the
thing.
director would be the first thing.
yeah.
You know, get somebody who basically knew what they were doing and got paid
Yeah.
for all the hours they put in.
Good.
Yeah,
Anything else?
not for me. And, you know, if you need more information, you know, Lori and I and Jamie need to get together to start talking about the budget and different things. So I'm sure we'll have lists and things. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Well, think of us as the wish list, you know.
I think we gave you a big one.
Warrant and finance takes care of the budget.
Yes.
And we take care of the wish list people.
Well, and then maybe you could get us more volunteers. That would be nice, too.
That's a huge wish right there, right?
Right,
Right,
there's a
yeah,
big
we
one.
could-
You need.
We need, I mean, we need volunteers. People that have kids that are involved or whatever, that have that interest. I joined because I wanted swimming lessons. I got that, now I can leave.
Oh,
I know that Wakefield, I mean, I think you have to commit as a parent, if you're gonna be in the program, to some type of volunteering. Whether it's just, you know, not maybe the whole program, but you're gonna do this, so you're gonna, I mean, I think they
And
had
that's
to.
how we did
because
it when my kids were in sports. You had to do a certain time in the concession stand, you had to hold the flags on the line, you had to do something.
Something.
I don't know if you ever did that here. I have no idea, but it does surprise me that that's not
I
part of it.
remember signing up for stuff when the kids
And that's how it
started,
should
they
be.
would send, you know, give us something, you know, what can you do during this season? And
I remember slicing 120 oranges.
Yes, we always brought oranges, right?
No.
Right, we always had to do that, but I don't
have the
know.
oranges.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened here that ever stopped or or what have
You
you.
just, kind of people come in and their kids grow, then they leave, and then,
I mean, we couldn't even get parents, I mean,
that's,
I didn't try that much because I really don't know people that have kids here. But Lori didn't, she couldn't even get people to help line the fields. You know, so even when they were just watching practices, she couldn't get people to help line.
that was
the
our
fields.
job one year. We did the baseball fields because
It
we had
doesn't
3
have
of
to be
them in
done every
baseball.
week, but.
No, it was like every,
Right, you get one team to do it each week. I don't know. So yes, it's kind of disheartening to see. So I hope you can help us. So thank you. Let me know if you
Thanks for
need
coming in.
anything. Okay, bye.
I am going to have to leave you, I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. We were really, Will isn't here.
Okay.
And it was
It's nice to get through that.
Carol and Will. And,
Next meeting, January 19th?
well, what do y'all think? I think between now, we're not gonna meet January 1st, guys, but we can either meet mid-January, or we can wait till February. I would suggest we meet mid-January, the 19th seems to work, for me anyway,
What day of the week is that?
Wednesday. And, because Will has promised me some information that we need, that we can put into, and this will be the actual start of our report, Kim. The only people, Kim, and I know you have to leave, so I'm going fast, is we need to know what might be necessary in that office, capital expenditures.
Okay.
What is, I know you gave me the first list, and that included the building and all those kinds of things. Now, one of the things that we did talk about, and I was gonna bring it up now, was that it might behoove us to talk to a company who would come in, and they would look at things. They would look at this building, inside and out.
Yeah.
They would look at, everything here and say, okay, this is where you are. This is what we see. It's not super expensive. It's really a civil engineer, correct? Or what would we call him? Not civil,
What
but,
kind of engineer, but these are people that understand structural
Structural,
building
that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
issues.
yeah,
They can componentize the building and
Yeah.
electrical, roofs, structural,
Right.
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Windows.
Because we want to make sure we take good care of this. I mean, I like old buildings.
yeah,
You think this-
but we need an expert.
Right.
Do you think the selectmen would be open to that?
Well, I would say let's give it a couple weeks, and then let's get back
Okay.
to that question. Yes, some of us would be,
Okay. Okay.
Has anything been done about the back of the building? Has anybody approached anybody about fixing it?
Yeah, I know Jennifer has put out bids. Nobody,
Where did she put the bids out?
probably in the newspaper, online. I can ask her. But I do know that we have not gotten any interest. I don't know if because it's just a partial job or people are just too busy. I don't know.
Is it more than just the
It's hard getting
vinyl
builders.
siding?
What was that?
Is it structural too, or is it just the vinyl siding?
As far as I know, it's just the vinyl siding that needs to
And
be.
these windows are gonna be done by,
Yeah, whoever.
Portland glass?
Yes, I think that's what we picked.
are there any windows back there or anything?
I don't think so.
Doors or anything?
Nothing here. Bathroom, two bathroom.
Two bathroom windows.
And then the other side of the building has a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Because
selectman's
Mr. Paul
office.
was, when he had, over the years, Ken had, put it up.
Well, the new windows are supposed to be in any time soon.
Yeah, I know. I was just in the bathroom the other day going, wonder when we're getting those windows, because it's getting cold, they leak really bad. They do, they're cold, it's just cold in those bathrooms. I mean,
And that cost us more money.
well, right, so it would
Energy
be
and
nice,
everything else.
to get them in and
Is that new heating system all fully installed?
It is.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it is. You know, I haven't heard anything, any issues. I think they're figuring out how to run it.
Okay, but that is, having an expert come in
Right.
would give us a better idea, because even from the treasurer, we've been given information that, you know, this side of the building is probably only good for another 10 years.
As far as, for what?
The building itself, outgrown,
It's outgrown. And
out everything, storage, everything.
And I know somebody had said down the line, you know, maybe we should just build a whole new.
Oh, well, that's what
Well, they
we
thought of
did.
that too, but there's also the possibility of
Can you-
approaching the church, maybe purchasing a little bit of land behind us,
Behind, okay,
Right.
yep.
and then taking down the fire station and clearing that
Clearing
area.
that for parking.
And then kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, we're gonna need so many square feet, by the year 2040, we're gonna have so much population, and whatever.
Right, so.
Or you can do the route that most people do, is they go find another piece of land. You gotta find a piece of land everybody agrees on and build a whole brand new one with, you know,
But I think in
handicap
that
access.
scenario too, though, we want to keep this part of the building,
Yeah.
the
Well,
town.
right.
Well, it
That's
is,
what I-
this is
yeah.
active, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, everybody.
All right,
likes the
so we
building,
can
but-
bring this up maybe at our January meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, got my notes. I'll get to work on them. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I'll get a hold of the two women that are interested.
Okay.
So what is the budget of the rec budget?
We'll have to get it from Lori.
$10,000 or?
I don't have it with me. I had the warrant with me in my other
So in
book.
other words, the town basically is supporting this, or financing this program, recreation program, is that correct? I know they maintain the fields.
that's what it sounded like, is that there's something
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
and then
But
it's.
there are, if we're looking at this and how we put this in to our basket, that what we need, there are some things that I think could be advised, that we have somebody who mows the lawns. We have someone who does maintenance. They should be doing the
Include
rec.
it.
That's ours, that's Acton's. They should be mowing there. They should
Who
be
is they?
doing that.
What do you mean? You
Well,
have-
who does our mowing and stuff like that?
Robin Ham.
Right,
Well,
right.
it's out of, they bids it, this year it's Mary Grant. and,
Fire department.
I think, yeah. Really? I mean, you got guys standing around waiting for a fire and they couldn't cut the lawn?
I mean,
You know, it's,
yeah,
this
well,
is-
that's a different avenue.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if I were to put something together, or I wanted to ask us to put something together
Yeah.
as a capital need, would be coming up with the money, not a stipend, for a director for the recreation
Yeah, well,
department.
Wakefield does have one. They have one that pay over $40,000 a year. They give him health and benefits, plus now I understand he has a vehicle. So it's like anything municipal, it just grows and grows, and you get a secretary, and you get this and that, and you've got a whole department. It's like anything else, you know.
Okay,
The creation of a director and funding is really not for this committee.
no,
Okay.
no. But I believe it was fortuitous and good for the rec department. It's the first time they've been invited anywhere.
Yeah, well, it gives you an insight as to how many people go there. You know, 70 kids, is that for baseball, is that whatever? And
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, I think with my kids that we had to, I remember driving my kids down, Laurel down to Wells, down
Yeah.
to the soccer games, and I think we had to provide her with uniform money, and it was like, we did it because we wanted our kids to participate in
Right,
sports.
right.
It was,
Right.
you know, it's something you pay for what you want. And somehow this seems like it's the other way, I don't know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Somebody has been trying to get me, so excuse me.
That's,
This, never know what's going on. But anyway, I think, we hear from Will, and does the 19th work for everybody?
yep,
Okay, we'll meet again on the 19th,
that sounds good.
and we'll get this stuff
I think
put
we
together.
should meet regardless, just to.
Yes,
things
agreed,
going, no.
agreed, yeah. And we'll be able to
That's
start
what
putting
happens,
this
a lot of
together.
these committees, they meet and then they just.
Yeah, well, I want to be able to present in May, at least a first package,
Yeah,
a first package,
I
and
think
go
that's
from there.
totally doable.
Okay, and so if that is it, I actually have made arrangements to meet with the Capital Improvement Committee in Wells and see how they do things, just as putting their thing together, so I'm going to do that. And the woman, her
now, do
name,
they have selectmen as well as the town manager?
yeah. that
They
both.
have a
Yeah.
certified town manager,
Right,
correct?
right, but that's not for us. So, telling you that, I will meet with them, see how they put their stuff together, and
Great.
I would like to tell you I could get you home before dark, but that can't happen now, until
Is that-
spring.
Is that 4:30 on the 19th?
Yeah, so I would entertain a motion.
Move it.
Thank you.
I second it.
All in favor. Good night, all, thank you very much.